Hello, hello. Welcome back to our Love Journey podcast, where we discuss our faith and our love for God, our love for people, in general. So my name is Olivia Nyamu, and next to me is Jade Gishore.
That's right.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
So today we continue from where we left our conversations from falling in love with God. And our journey of how we've fallen in love with God. Where we were talking about we've fallen in love with God through service, through loving other people. Because like you mentioned, from where we come from, our church, our church talks about loving God and loving others. So falling in love with God cannot come without falling in love with other people.
That's true. Yeah.
So we walk together in that journey. And we continue to dive deep. So today we want to look at, before I go there, wait a minute. People, help me welsh my co-host, my very good friend. Jade Kushuri, your birthday was recent. Happy birthday.
Asante sana.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you very much.
You're 1 year wiser.
Oh my gosh.
And younger.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
And you don't even look it.
I don't look it. I don't look all my 52 years.
I don't, by the way, I'm very sure people hear your age and get shocked.
Yeah. I hope so. It's the glory of Jesus.
The glory of Jesus. And the dress code, look at yourself right now.
It's the glory of Jesus, yeah.
The other day we were talking with my friend and we were thinking, were our parents old in how they thought, or is it us? Because look at us right now. We're both dressed in clothes that don't look at our age.
Yes.
Like if our mamas will be wearing those matching skirts or long dresses. So you don't look a day older than...
I think one of the beautiful things that the Lord has done for me is accepting myself and healing the self-worth. So I dress to please myself. I not to please, but to be comfortable. Not to get comments, whatever. I just like what I wear.
Even a short shorts.
Yeah, even my short shorts. Somebody say hallelujah. You'll get me fired. Thank God the calling is from the Lord and he knows short. Anyway, so turning 50 is, so 52 is, I think I turned 50 and I feel like I entered my best years of myself. So thank you. I appreciate the 50s actually. I cried in my 40s. I turned 40 and I wailed on my 40th birthday. I really did. By 44, I was sure I'm doomed. This is the end of life. By 45, I made peace with, age is here. But 50 is like I got an injection of, oh my God, see what the Lord has done. So I feel like the years have become more full of gratitude that I actually reached 50 and the Lord is with me. And I feel well and good about my life. I mean, it has, it's usual ups and downs.
Yeah.
I'm still having drama with myself. And
you and drama.
Yeah, me and drama, we are always going to be.
But I think it's also, do you feel like when you turn 50, you started living in a reflective way? Like you're reflecting in where God has got you from and you're guaranteed He has your back.
Yeah. So there's a thing about turning 50 and you might, oh my God, I'm 50. Then I look back and I'm saying, there are years I didn't know how I would make it. Like, even
I know
how. I know. But then to see even at my worst time, I mean, I looked through my journal in my 50s when I turned my 50th, and I was looking at how there was a lot of tears. I was wailing. My 30s, my 40s, I was just wailing. And then I look and then I see, but the Lord dealt with that. Oh, the Lord dealt with that. Oh, the Lord. So I've entered the 50s, you're right, knowing the Lord has me.
He has you.
Imagine He truly does. So it has given me a rest of some sort. I'm so grateful for...
I think moral of the story is you need to share with me your diaries because I'm feeling my wailing years. I need to stop wailing.
Wailing years. Those wailing years, I know them.
Oh my God.
And then you keep thinking life is passing you by so fast. I haven't done this, I haven't done that. Oh my God, I'll fail my kids, I'll do this, I'll not. Will I even have a thing in my wardrobe, a prayer? God help me not to fail my children. I never want to.
That is where
I used to wail. But I think what has happened as I have turned 50, I'm more like, God, don't fail your children. Those are your children. I stopped owning them so much and brought a lot of rest. I truly am enjoying my 50s.
I really wish I get there, because I think I have more panic attacks than I've ever gotten. I'm in a state where I'm like, oh my God, am I failing these kids? Am I failing these kids? I think I told you the other day in my head, I was just like, I really don't want to be like my parents, where I even stopped asking things from my parents because of being shouted at. Now we don't have. So I'm really praying that I don't get there.
Yeah.
I don't get there. Where my kids are even fearful to come and ask me for something, because I'm always like, Mom always never has, or I shout back at you. Are you not seeing that? Because it's easy for you to be like that.
It's very easy. Yeah, but I love my I mean, I've seen the favor of God so much in so many ways. I have awesome friendships, awesome ones, So when I allowed God to love me, then I allowed people to love me, and I allowed myself to love people. So it's not that I've not had hardships. It's not even now that I don't have one or two things that are in my brain, which we're not going to talk about. But it doesn't stop me from sleeping anymore or over worrying. I've learned to rest in God's arms, and I'm still learning to rest more and more in God's arms. So I pray you get there. You're 10 years younger than you, beautiful one. So
pray I get there.
I hope it won't get you to the 50s, that you'll get it sooner. I really do pray. I mean, I do pray that it do take the 50s for you to get into a place of
I know
rest.
it won't.
I know it won't.
Yeah, I one of the things I always say is I'm very good at learning from the people ahead of me. So and that's why I'm stuck with you. I'm stuck with you like glue, because I'm like, if I have seen God do it through you, I am very sure it's going to do it in my life. So I don't have to get panicked.
You actually even just make me think, hey, step up, but what else do I need to be?
I make you on your toes.
You also make me feel like I need to be brave. I find you so brave.
My God.
You're brave. There's a friend of mine called Jackie. Jackie, I find her brave. So when people are doing things for me, it take 10 years to accomplish. Like, I can't believe how you just said we do the podcast. And it's true, I still kept you waiting for 2 months.
Yeah, you did.
Which was fast for me.
You were praying and asking the Lord.
Praying for God. Now I'm asking, why are we doing a podcast? So then it took us quite a bit of time. I'm what we call slow adapter. Change takes me forever. But thank you for the birthday wish.
We shall say your M-Pesa number at the end, so that if anyone feels like, sending a gift.
That's true.
But so let's come back to our conversation today. So today I want us to dive in, or the discussion, I think that we want to dive into foolishly loving God. Like loving God when logic, does faith and logic, do they go together? Are there times where you're doing things and people are looking at you like,
people or yourself, when you're doubting your sanity?
And even from examples from the Bible where we have Noah building an ark in the desert, and
there's no rain, but he's saying rain is coming,
and he's building a big huge ark, and then we have Abraham who's being told to pack his stuff and walk with the Lord and go to a place that God has not even told you. And for someone like me, that doesn't make logical sense. For you will follow me. I'm like, where are we going? Show me the map. Show me the Google Maps to work a pin. Where we're headed.
Yeah.
Or Mary accepting God's assignment. I mean, there's quite a number of examples in the Bible where people follow God and it looks foolish to the world.
Yeah.
And
Noah built the ark for many years. It wasn't 1 year.
It wasn't.
It was about 120 years.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Him and the sons.
Like, imagine year 1, year 2. You're still telling guys, flood is coming.
Imagine.
Year 3.
They think you're crazy.
Yeah, of course.
People are laughing at you. Majirani, they're speaking and saying, I think our neighbors lost it.
They're just judging, even feeling pity. Like, wow, he must be in a cult. It can't be of God, Yahweh, because that was Yahweh. This must be a cult. I'm sure Noah was the first person that I think, this guy must be in a cult.
And Noah is different. Noah is different from Abraham, because Abraham was just a thing that they were told him and their wife. They didn't have to go and tell people that we're getting married in our hundreds. And not getting married.
No, having a child
in our hundreds. That was between the two of them. So that they believe or they don't believe, it's between the two.
I actually think Abraham's I never told you one. They're like people who've stoned us. They probably said when Isaac came, is another. Let's tell everybody. Actually, the Lord had told us. I think that's how we do faith. Yeah. That's how we logicalize faith. We hide it. No. No. Noah is the one who was shouting because his was music on nail and board.
Look at the neighbor, he's out again. You know.
Yeah, but Abraham, you're sorry, Abraham and Sarah.
Abraham was
talking in whispers. Then the day she gives birth, she said, no, we knew. God had told us. How many days do we do that? You keep something in.
But we are told that.
Yeah, then,
don't go shouting your
yeah, there are all these things people keep putting online. Like,
don't shout your name.
Yeah.
But if it's your blessing, it's a blessing.
Even me, I really wonder about it, to tell you the truth. That teaching has never, or whatever, concept that you hide what God has said.
But my dad is very big on that. You don't go telling him, not everyone will be happy for you. And well, it's true, not everyone will be happy for you.
Yeah, but if it's from the Lord, let me ask you, Oli, so hiding it, are you doubting God can preserve it?
I think so.
Because that's you doubting that God will protect this thing that he has said, and now you're doing God's work, like, let me help you, let's hide it until you're ready. Like, I actually grapple with this. Like, I don't understand the logic behind it, because, you know, I lean so much on the faith. I need to have a bit more logic in my way of thinking. But I'm always like, but if he said it, he said it. So if I hide it, then I come back and say, see, then people will just be like, I mean, of course there were processes towards it. But when there was no process or any signs, like Noah, it's a greater testimony. Yeah. So you keeping it in is you doubting Jesus, actually.
True.
Yeah, I think so. It's you doubting God.
We shout.
We should shout.
God said you'll come back.
Hey, we should shout. I think we should shout.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's living out the faith.
It is living out the faith.
But the problem will be now the timing, because God's timing is not our timing.
Wait about timing.
Timing is not our timing.
It is not our timing.
Yeah. 20 years of waiting for a child. Abraham waited for 20 years.
I don't even know how many, but it must, many years.
Yeah.
Yes, she was over menopausal. Over.
Yeah, see over. Gone. When? Dusted. There's nothing that warm.
The other day I saw a clip of a 60 year something old woman telling her daughter she's pregnant. I was disoriented. It was on Instagram. I actually felt I was touching the screen for her. Like, oh, poor like I found myself feeling like, wow. I cannot even imagine.
Because if she's 60, the kids are in their 40s.
Yes,
right? They also have their kids.
Because they also have their kids early.
Oh my God.
So the daughter is like, it's okay, I'll raise them. I'm like, wow. So imagine Sarah believing that in her 100 or whatever years she is.
She's going to be a mom.
Yeah. First time mom. This is a 60-year-old already has children, and she's is a first-time mom.
Because she gave up. No,
but they are let's just have this kagal over here. We kill this story. Because I also think in the waiting, what Sarah was doing was the logic side of it.
Yeah, helping God.
So you've heard from God, but then you tend to the anxiety of waiting and the hope, despair, because month 1, periods come, or no pregnancy. Well, I don't know whether she had periods or whatever. But no pregnancy. Let's just say no pregnancy. Month 2, you start saying, I need this thing to come out of my head and my heart. Let me just bring somebody. Do not, because you're so tired of staying in hope. Because staying in hope also can weigh the heart very heavily.
Your heart can be broken.
Yeah, you can, I mean, you have told her, and I've had you say, I mean, I feel disappointed by God, and people don't throw so at me. But there's an element of, and it sounds odd that you can be disappointed in God, but you can be, because you thought, oh, you're answering now. Then, time is Jafika, you're like, oh my gosh, is it not yet time? Is it today? Not yet. Is it today? Is it today? So actually, I don't think Abraham and Sarah told anyone, because that would have looked me. Noah didn't have a choice.
Noah did not have a choice. He was building an ark, quite state.
Actually, who else had this journey of like that?
We have living out your name. Mary getting pregnant with Jesus. Then again, that one also did not need shouting.
Yeah, because before you, that
didn't need shouting. In fact, for her, it was condemnation. Like, did you just have sex before marriage?
Yeah, that's true. So Mary didn't say.
No, I don't think she told people.
She just told Joseph.
Yeah.
And then chilled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because now you can't reveal Jesus. Jesus had to be revealed by God.
Yes.
Yes. So you live with this thing that the Lord has told you. Yes. Okay, so there are maybe things in faith that you should ponder in your heart, like Mary did. And you just but then you need to hear it from God, not from a place of fear that it will be robbed or people will give you what is that eye and your promise disappears, because that's what the world tells us. Yeah. To hide it so that it's not taken. but it should be more that the Lord has told you.
But even look at Joseph. When Joseph got a dream that he's going to be, the 12 are going to go down.
Yeah,
That did not go down well.
It didn't work out well for him.
Even the parents were like, you mean me and your mother are going to...
Actually, you're right. That one, he was just happy. All you people are going to be bowing down.
Like, what?
I always imagine Akina Ruben. Look at this. First of all, you're favored. First of all, you're there.
You don't go to shepherd with us?
No.
You're being
our father treats you like an egg. Then you're here coming, oh, good news, I had a dream. Okay, maybe there is wisdom. We need to pray from God for wisdom. Where to share it, who to share it with.
And which one to just keep.
And which one to keep to yourself. So faith and logic, so even the logic must come from Jesus then. And in our case, logic, then when it comes to faith, it must be wisdom.
That's true.
But we tend to lean in more on logic. Because of
what we are seeing. I mean, it is what you see. Because they say faith is what? Meaning what you don't see.
Yeah, Hebrews, that it's in my house, that cross.
Because
it's actually quite crazy. So that verse was Hebrews 11, 1, which says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. So there's hope of things.
You can say conviction.
Conviction. You must have a conviction, which means it should give you courage to say it without fear of things making sense.
I like the conversation we're getting into today, because there are things you've told me and I'm like, because of recently I've been watching about, I've been wanting to buy, I really want to own a home. And my bank account is just saying, you girl, cannot afford the house. Cannot even afford the, But faith is believing.
And it's saying.
And as we go into our conversation, that's one of the things I hope you're going to talk about, because me, so you get a house. You kept saying, I live in a house. In fact, you kept quoting that verse. The Bible says you live in houses that you didn't even
in fact, I wasn't quoting the Bible verse. Who knew Bible verse? I had no clue about Bible verse to that extent. What I was telling you guys, remember, you all thought I was nuts.
Yes.
It was I even remember, January 2011.
Yes.
We were e-group in our home, in my home. And I told you guys, guess what? You were actually there. I don't know if you were there. I told you guys, guess what? The Lord has said, He'll buy me a home without a mortgage and I'll get married again. So be in ministry. So the second part, I never say it loudly, but the first one, I ran with it because it was a deep need. I mean, the divorce hadn't come through, so I was like, whatever, man. But then, and it wasn't I was doubting God, I just wasn't seeing the possibility of it. But the house, I don't know why I was so sure about. Actually, I had true conviction.
You really were.
And then, as I'm telling you guys, 2 weeks later, I was auctioned. Remember, it was in the newspaper. My Denny deaths were. My dad had to call Garama Associates to tell them, please don't put her in standard nation. This daughter of mine, just put her in those star. I think I was putting the star because to be gazetted. Then I was coming to e-group, life group, telling you guys, hello, guess what?
That is where I am right now.
And I was convinced that the Lord has told me so. And He went to buy us a home.
Imagine.
2 years later, Jan 2013, we moved into our home without a mortgage. Actually, that is crazy. Even as I say it, I was like, what?
Because that's a story.
But I was so convicted that the Lord said, remember?
You really were convicted.
Gosh, have I lost my faith? I don't.
Because right now I'm there where I'm looking at, you've lost your... No, you've not lost your faith. Because that's where I am at. And I think the last 2 days, it's weird. The last 2 days, one of the things that has kept coming, and even when I'm reading scripture, it's having audacious prayers. That's one of the things I'm being convicted in terms of. Stop praying using your bank account. Stop praying. Because I went to the bank to ask for mortgage. The amount was given for me, I feel like it is not, But God is telling me, have audacious prayers. Trust me in ways that is beyond. So I'm trying to remove logic out of owning a house. And I even remember when the first initial money came, how God sorted it out, and surprise, I got, no surprise to God, but to me, the money, it was just enough for 5 point something for a housing kit. And I remember this day we drove there with my firstborn and my mom. We went back to sit in the car, and my mom was looking at me like, are you sure you want to come this way? Now Kitengela is, people
people have built beautiful homes. That 2011, 2012 was actually 2012 was
deserted
desert.
island.
You live there in sand and whatever.
Yes.
I felt so sad that I'm bringing my children because I was determined to do what the Lord had said, no mortgage.
Yes.
Then I remember going to going to our GM finance and saying, this is like, no. In fact, now you can own that house we always wanted, Green Park. You just need to add some money to this money you have. And now your salary is back, you have, and the reason was much debt, of course, because of the divorce and the other house and all those things. And living a lifestyle, that wasn't matching. I was trying to keep my kids the same lifestyle. So, of course, the debt was a lot. So the money came to 5 something. And a friend had helped to put it somewhere away before I make a decision. So I was tempted, what she was saying. So I was even now started negotiating with God.
And now you do that with a mortgage.
Yeah, so now I was negotiating with God. Let me just buy Green Park. I'll only add 3 M. I think because those days the house were like 8 point something. The mortgage will go faster. Me negotiating with God. You see the logic part? Like, okay, I hear you and I can see.
This is Sarah giving.
Oh my gosh, that it is.
What's the name of her name? You should give birth.
What was her name? Haggai.
Yeah. No, this is you.
So this is me getting a mortgage taken, and I'm convinced then because I wasn't. Then we went to see another house in Kitengela, and then my mom was like, Dad and I can sell something. We can help you, Nini. Because one of the things my parents told me when my marriage ended, we'll help you because you're not going to die in this marriage. You come out. So they were determined to really be my support. So I was like, that 2 million would really help. So I'm telling God, that's not like a mortgage. It's a gift. But then for them to give me that gift, they'll have to sell something. But so I'm also putting them, but they were willing. So saying, but they are willing. And they're my parents. You're provided. Haggai part 2. By the end of 2011, I knew I wasn't going to do a mortgage because another thing also happened.
Yes. That was a retrenchment, right?
It wasn't even a retrenchment.
No, it wasn't a retrenchment. It was
So in June, so this is Jan, then the Lord, auction, works a miracle in less than a month. And it turns to my favor as we do the divorce and whatever, which I hadn't expected. Then in June, again, my faith was tested. In prayer, 6 a.m., the Lord tells me it's time to quit your job. Remember?
Yeah, it was your exit package.
Yes, it was time to quit your job and go to full-time ministry. Drama ensued. I was like, now I've just started getting my salary back. Someone looks, at least
you look like you can breathe.
I can breathe.
You're floating in water.
Now you want to take me back to pastor.
Where?
These same pastors, we give a few shillings here and there because pastors are not rich. They don't have. Me, I was telling God, now I was poor. Now I was going to be very, very poor. I was gonna struggle. So now I was like, then wait, let me first sort the house thing. Like I said, negotiating with God, I can't go to full-time ministry. But then again, that word, conviction.
Yeah.
I knew the Lord had said, do this.
Quit your ministry.
Quit your job. And I think that's also part where now how we are saying faith can look like foolishness.
Yes.
Honestly, it can. Yeah. It can look like foolishness. Because after that, I think now I had to go tell our GM,
yes,
I think I won't take these roles. And we had been doing a retrenchment. And I was supposed to add 2 job offers within the organization. Yes. She's looking at me like, you're not sane, by the way.
We're trying to fix you. You actually were being put in a very good
place. Yes.
Yeah.
But then I'm here telling her,
I want to go in.
I think I want to go.
And not even be a pastor. We used to start
where? An intern. Intern.
Where you're raising funds.
Yes.
For your salary.
Yes. Me with my 3 children, the amount was 10K. After taxation was 1,000 something. I was getting 8,000 and something. I was supposed to get 8,000. But they were merciful because I told them my rent is 20. Please up it a little. So as I was now planning the negotiation, I was told, okay, we'll pay the 20 and then the 10. So they were going to give me 30. So I was going to leave the other amounts of money that my employer was giving me and the benefits to go to full-time ministry. Yeah. And at this season, I'm in the middle of a divorce, like nasty.
Yes.
In fact, that was my biggest struggle with God. You don't want me, God. Like, you can't seriously want me. I knew He'd asked me, but I was like, I'm not sure you're aware, God.
What you asking?
Who you were asking? I mean, where I'm coming from? I'm in the middle of the divorce. I was like, do you know my pastor, little Jesus? Like, I truly wasn't. And I told my folks, it's the first time my dad didn't speak to me for a month. They even told me,
this one has gone.
This must be about church is a cult.
This cult.
Oh, you guys in life group, I remember I think it was someone else. They're like, Amma, it's because my bro died the year before. You guys are also saying I'm grieving. Like,
no, me never doubted your madness. I just really
somebody
just
did,
you and
you know,
Rose, but me, I was like, I'm looking at you from an eye, you know.
But remember the interesting thing about this faith logic thing was earlier exactly a year before, we were pledging money and we were seated on the road. Do you remember that story? I didn't forget it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you guys are watching me writing $1 million. You start whispering, Bana, you can't afford even 100, even 10K, you can't afford. Then I told you guys, the Lord has told me to write $1 million. We went for life group. You guys are like, we have brought you milk. Imagine. Like, as we come to fellowship in your house, we normally bring for your kids extra because we know you only have water to give us. And here you're loudly saying the Lord has said. Do you know the pastors actually called me? Like, it's okay, take back your card. I kid you not. I had a moment I won't even mention her. She just said, we have thought about it. It's okay, Jade. I've been praying for you. I know you'd want to. I said, no, the Lord put back my card. Like a pledge of $1 million.
That's probably the first time the church is refusing a tithe.
I know. They're like, you can't afford it. I mean, you've been praying for you. Drama after drama. Oh, so you lawyer fees, you what school fees, nini. I mean, my prayer request for all these finances. Then here I am doing $1 million pledge.
Amen.
So you tell me where it's not even people seeing you. Why was I not feeling insane?
I'm telling you was very convinced. And I'm like, okay. I told you that's why I stuck with you like glue.
I wrote the $1 million.
Let's see how this ends.
When the money came exactly a year later, because they came millions, the first thing I did was pay that $1 million pledge. And I was not in doubt about it. I was like, the Lord had said it.
And I like that you didn't question it. You will get there. They say in Kiswahili, kuomba ni harusi kulipa ni matanga. Because most of the time when you're paying, you start logicalizing.
Yeah,
you have to pay this debt right now. You logicalize it. You didn't even think, like, here's the $1 million.
The Lord had told me to pledge it. I pledged.
Because your head would be like, that is enough for me to go to Green Park. It's
completely. It was gone. Then Gafla, a few minutes later, quit the job, come full time. And then for 6 months, I saw 4 dermatologists because my face broke out. Remember, I had big pimples that they told me, whatever this struggle is internal. There's no cream. That can sort you out. Actually, that's complete. So foolish faith has this thing, conviction. And faith is the assurance of things hoped for. So the things hoped for is a part that I
remember when you talk about pledges, I think I pledged 75,000 shillings. And back then,
that's a lot of money.
75K. And I'm thinking, and that's what I wrote. I wrote in the card 75K. But, and as usual, for me, logic, bonus was coming. Because I think we're putting those pledges in January, February, March.
It was March.
We used to be paid our bonuses in April. So I wrote 75K. But in your head, you're telling yourself, bonus kata come, bonus will be the joke of the year. Guess how much my bonus was? My net amount for my bonus was 75,000.
The whole 75.
You didn't even give me 1,000 shillings for anything.
But then did you give it in? The whole 75? Well, that's it.
Like I gave it, and I kid you not, everyone's looking at me like, you're crazy, you're mad.
It did feel like we are crazy.
It was exact. My bonus was exactly the pledge I wrote. But God does amazing, because after that, my salary was doubled.
Imagine that. I think the thing the Lord honors in terms of hearing Him and acting out of obedience is not the one people have told you by force, by fire.
No, it is
the one it's like everybody has to do it. You have like this, and then you also feel as you're doing it, it's like a punishment, or you're forcing yourself to do it. But the one willingly, you had the Lord and I want to do this because I love the Lord, my relationship with God. The Lord really honors that. That's
He does. For me, he and I've seen Him over time do that. There's times I'm sitting somewhere, even recent, and He tells me to do something or give out something in my head. I'm like, why do I want to give out? But you just give it out. And 2, a few days later, he returns even double folds of that. And you're thinking, why then do we struggle to follow him?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But other areas, other than finances, because I know finance is the big one. I think I've also found areas where I've foolishly followed God in terms of conversations. Me following God has made me, there are spaces I cannot be in. There are places I can't go, the conversations I cannot have. Like when you sit and you're having them, and I'm like, the conviction of God does not allow you to be in some spaces, you know. And it looks foolish because some things probably are going to elevate you.
Yeah.
You know, some conversation you're going to be in spaces of people who are going to help you, influential people, but your own conviction does not allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than finances, both of us have written a book. You know, things that you have done
because the Lord said.
The Lord said.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense to anyone else.
No. In fact, the interesting thing about when I was writing my book, I struggled with it for 2 years because I didn't want to obey God. And I was feeling, you're exposing me. In a book, I mean, I will talk about my life and my shenanigans in small spaces because when I'm talking with someone, there's context. I feel like you can see me, so you can trust I'm not that person or the uni. But now a book is just being read by someone who's making a judgment of me far and beyond.
People who don't even know you.
Yeah. And I remember telling the Lord, okay, if we're going to do this in 2019, I had just read Nehemiah. I was like, he did the wall in 52 weeks. If I finish this book in 52 weeks, Lord, then for me, I think now I'm on Gideon, the Philistine. Do you know I wrote it in 52 weeks? That small, book, which I poured my shenanigans, my stories, was done in 52 weeks. When I finished, I was like, wow, you are serious. You are actually serious about it. Yeah. So, there are things we have done and it will look, because you're right. Someone asked me, are you okay sharing this much about yourself? And it shows your failings in relationships.
Yeah.
Because, I write about relationships and I write from how I didn't know any better and how falling in love was just a mess for me. And yet I thought I was falling in love and what it took. So it's, we'll talk about the book in detail later. But someone did ask me, you're okay with people knowing this much? I know it. People do wonder. But then again, the Lord said, do it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I did it. One of the other things about outside finances that I have seen when I have acted out of faith, out of obedience, is like when I entered ministry, one of the biggest things that I was struggling with, my daughter was, you remember, he had a lot of asthma, bronchial, all these things that they were, sinuses were treating, going in a lot of hospitals, were spending a lot of time on the money, but they in hospitals. And I was like, I'm entering an institution which had no medical cover at that point. Yeah. And I used to, in fact, I couldn't say it loudly that one. I think it was in my head, like, what are you doing, Jade? You know, you have no medical cover and you're one of your kids, leave alone kids, one of them spends so much. We are on inhalers, nasal sprays. We have already done, I think, one operation already in the nose. Then the Lord said Jan 20, you're in full-time ministry. So drama 6 months, I obeyed and I went in. She's an house. When I went in, it's months later, I got shocked because I've not replaced her inhaler. We have not been to hospital. The nebulizer, I had that thing nebulizing in my car, my mom's house. If you pick Eve, you have to pick the bag because anytime she has an attack, you need to get into her Gertrude's and nebulize her. That was the system. Yeah. This child had become cocked-eyed from these sinuses. Remember, the year before. So it was serious to have a medical cover. Do you know, months in is when I realized she has not used a nasal spray. She has not used an inhaler. We have not been to hospital. Let me tell you, from 2012, the most she's done is have an antihistamine here and there because of the air. But an inhaler, nothing. The nasal sprays, then. So that faith step brought healing for my child. It also brought healing for me. Yeah. I had the reproductive problem where I couldn't have kids. And by the time I was even going in January, I remember we were going to Mombasa for our first retreat. I used to have a bag for my pads and all the they change, extra panties and all, because the condition had me bleeding 4 months on, then not bleeding. Remember that issue? So I was ready. Then we go to Coast, day one, nothing. Then we're like, maybe it's been in Mombasa, change of weather. I come back and nothing. Then a few days later, like a cycle, I get I get my periods. Month 2, the same. April ends, same again. I said, no, I think I'm dying for sure, because I've suffered this. Now they are normalized. It can only be, something else is wrong. And I remember him saying, the same doctor who was journeyed with me, he looked at me and told me, my gosh, you're ovulating. Because first of all, I started getting moody. So I was like, I'm not a moody person. Told me that's PMS. I was like, what? So since 2012, the Lord also healed me completely. Wow. I have not had the bleeding issue again, ever. And I kid you not, when I was in high school, the nurse has called my mom not once, twice. I'm aborting because of the excess of bleeding. The whole hostel, people have given me pads because now I'm hiding. I'm waiting for it. 1 month is over. By then they're like, no, we call your parent, but this is, and it wasn't. Do you know? Now
it stopped and it stopped.
And it stopped. I was like that mama of I touched the hem of the garment. The hem of the garment of Jesus. So there's faith that is beyond logic.
It is.
And I think is where
in big and in small things. I think for me, one of the things that I made, we did something called Mizizi na Makarao. Remember when we went to teach Mizizi to the cops in Buru?
Yeah, the program about knowing Jesus. We went to teach the Buruburu police station.
And I remember I didn't want it because me and cops, me really do not like cops. Today I still don't like cops, yeah? And I was like, what is it? I almost didn't do that thing. Yeah? Then I ended up getting a class, me and Purity. The irony of that class is those who loved us, they gifted us. I have a duvet to date.
Wow.
They gave us duvet, me and Purity.
Because you were the brave one.
I'm like, what? This thing that I
put myself on prayer duty outside the fence. True story. Do you remember? I was like, because first the day we went, let me just say this. Remember when we went and is it OCPD is showing you the wall? There was a wall, and then there was a map of their area where they're covering. So they're telling us the red is where people died in the night. They kill guys. Then I was looking at these people like, so we sit with you people and you are killing guys. I went prayer duty. Coward I said, brave ones go sit with these guys.
It wasn't brave ones. Me, I don't like today.
But you did so
I don't like cops. So it is amazing. It's a small thing that you do that God gives you. And I'm like, okay. These cops gave us duvets. I have a duvet for work well done.
Yeah.
So it's obeying him and just doing what he has called you to do.
Because actually we felt called to do the police. Like we went, knocked doors
and told them we are here to help
introduce you to a class for you to know God more. What was that?
Foolishness.
That was true. In the name of faith. In the name of faith.
So
and we do have so many stories, and over the time we'll share our faith stories, because these faith stories also started helping us start knowing God's love more and more. I think one of the big lessons we also got is that to love God is to obey God.
It is.
There's no saying you love God and you're not obeying God. Like in big and small, in the logic and in the illogical ones. The ones that will make you look like a fool. But if the Lord has said it, to love him is to obey him. And the journey of obedience has been quite something for us. And it continues to be one of the things we keep unraveling, that there is no love relationship with God without allowing your faith to live out in obedience. And it's a daily thing. I don't know.
It's a daily thing because as much as we're talking about the past and things we did in the past, even we have stories of currents that God has done. And we continue sharing them. That he is still, he does not stop testing you and not testing you, but it doesn't stop giving you very, very, very requests that you're like, oh my God.
It's true. The act of obeying God, like now when it reached a point where I knew I must leave the staff team of Papuno, which I thought I would be forever. But because of, many becauses, the direction the church took, and I knew it wasn't resonating with me, and it wasn't what I knew God had called me to be a part of. I was broken. I was heartbroken. So I'm telling the Lord, you want me to leave? You remove me for corporate, and I've been comfortable here knowing, okay, you have settled me. Now I'm, in this, now you're like, leave, and then leave without knowing where you're going.
And you still without knowing where you're going.
Do you remember? I'm just leave without knowing where you're going. I remember crying in a restaurant, true story, in 2024 with my village mate. God has played me. Imagine that's what I was saying. So you're right. This journey, we are still on it.
It's not like we
are still on it.
We're still on it.
Because I left without knowing. So I still got. So I'm a pastor without a church.
Imagine.
So you've said I leave and then I go where? Yeah. So it's like, why couldn't you let me stay there? And I'm blind to whatever I'm having.
It's happening.
Yeah, whatever. Just block me. Let me operate from. Why did you let me know? Yeah. I actually remember telling him God has played me. I thought this was for life. I love this church, but the direction it's taking is, you also left, but it's not where we felt God was in. But I was so shocked that I'm leaving without anywhere to go. So this act of faith is still alive.
It is.
Yeah. So there is no foolish, there's no
logic.
Yeah, in following Christ. Yeah. But we will come back, talk about that there's wisdom in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So today let's disagree. There's no following God has a lot of foolishness in to say it looks quite foolish, the faith of God, but it cannot be a love relationship without obedience. Wow.
True. Wow.
That's true. And you have reminded, I feel like, that was quite a journey. That was a very hard time while So I pray that for many people, that the Lord will teach us, will continue to teach us as they're teaching you guys, that to love God is to obey God.
It is.
Even when it looks like it's a foolish decision. And pray for wisdom and discernment to act from having known. And I know there's a place for people to come and speak into your life and tell you, this is what the Lord is saying. And maybe we'll talk about that in the next episode, because we do have some faith steps we took, and it's because we didn't know we will take them, but they had already been spoken into our lives, and we continued to act on them. But good people, that's we journey with us as we continue to talk about how we have obeyed God by loving Him and looking foolish,
being courageous,
feeling foolish, but then obeying is a goal. Is the only way we know how to show that we love God. We live to obey Him.
Amen. We pray that you get to love Him enough to hear Him as you obey Him.
As you obey Him.
Because most of our stories is, as much as one or two have come from outside, it's been what you were praying and God spoke to you.
Right. May the Lord love on you. May you know the love of Christ in every way that you need to know. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Like, follow, and share.
That's right.